Good morning, everyone. So we are going to continue our class discussion based on our subject CDI 6. So matagal din tayong hindi nakapag-discuss. So tatapusin ni ma'am ngayon lahat ng discussion na coverage ng prelim natin. So we are going to continue our topic here on fire characteristics and classifications. So we have here pyrolysis. Pag sinabi nating pyrolysis, ano nga ba ang term na ito? It is fire consumes the most solid part. So kailan ito nangyayari? When fire consumes, so kinain niya na yung lahat ng solid part ng fuel. It is the thermal decomposition. So another keyword, decomposition of the solid fuel that present on the certain material burning, then at the same time solid fuel through the action of heat. So nade-decompose siya through the action of heat, then at the same time through the process of burning or yung tinatawag natin na combustion. So ito yung magiging keyword natin pag sinabing pyrolysis. Next, so we are not going to tackle deeper the process of pyrolysis. We are going to proceed dito sa types of poisonous gases. We have here types of poisonous gases, product of combustion of fire. Okay, the chemical composition of the fuel, percentage of oxygen present, and the temperature of the fire. So, diniscuss lang dyan, the product of combustion. Inline. So, na-discuss naman natin yung combustion. So, wag na nating i-ano dyan. Proceed tayo dito sa types of poisonous gases. We have the hydrogen sulfide. Gas formed during fires involving organic material. Another keyword na pwede nating maano is yung organic material containing sulfur, which as rubber. So, ito yung magiging example natin. Rubber, hair, wood, meat, and it is colorless chalcogen hydride gas and is poisonous, corrosive, and flammable with trace amounts in ambient atmosphere, having a characteristic of foul odor of rotten egg. So, ang amoy daw, pag once na nasunog ito, para itong nabubulok na itlog. So, pag sinabi nating hydrogen sulfide, itong a type of gases, yes, smells like rotten eggs, and at the same time, ano ba yung nagiging effect nito? Effect pag ito yung nasusunog, specifically, ang target po nito is yung our body. Okay? Pag it's what? Ano bang epekto sa body natin? It's flow. Okay? It's affect our body in line with the flow of oxygen. Tandaan niyo yan. Oxygen, kumbaga, mapapabagal niya ang flow ng oxygen inside our body. Okay, next, pag sinabi natin ganito, so what will be the effect towards that person pag mabagal na yung slow, lagay natin dito, slow flow of oxygen inside the body is magkakaroon ng yung tinatawag natin na nahihilo, dizziness, then at the same time, yung magiging unconscious na yung isang tao pag nalanghap niya yung isang hydrogen sulfide, which is a form of gas, which is pag nasunog siya, yung maaamoy natin is parang nabubulok na itlog. So next, pag sinabi nating hydrogen cyanide, toxic fires gas found in oxygen, okay, involving nitrogen containing material. So ano yung example? Pag ito yung nasunog, we have wool o yung silk, urethane, okay, we have the polyamides and the acrylics. Hydrogen cyanide smells like bitter almonds. Okay, tandaan, ito na yung amoy niya pag once niya na nasusunog, which may not be easily detected. So, mahirap daw siyang ma-detect in line with smelling. Hydrogen cyanide compared to sulfide, mas delikado po si cyanide. Bakit? It was commonly known as deadly. Bakit nga ba deadly ito? Deadly type of gas that has, ano ba yung magiging effect niya? That has an effect of, kanina, pinapapabagal lang yung flow ng oxygen inside our body. Ito talaga, stopping the body from using oxygen. So, papatigilin niya talaga yung katawan mo na gumamit ng oxygen kahit na, okay, continuation, even though you are breathing. Okay, kahit na humihinga ka, pag nalanghap mo itong hydrogen cyanide na nasusunog, ang magiging effect niya po is papatigilin niya talaga ang katawan mo sa paggamit ng oxygen, which is, anong mangyayari sa'yo? Okay, deadly nga ito. For example, kaya deadly. So, pag once na-stop na yung oxygen, pwede kang matumba, unconscious. So, maraming possible na mangyayari sa'yo. So, ang example nito, sabi dyan, the wool silk, pwede pa nating idagdag dyan yung mga plastics na pag nasunog yan. Plastics, we have foams, and at the same time, yung mga synthetic materials. Yan. In line with this, gas. Ito yung mga example natin pag once na nasunog. Next, we have the hydrogen chloride. We have here hydrogen chloride gas, a type of gas which can be fatal. Only daw a few breaths produced in fires involving chloride-containing plastics. Plastics can be found anywhere from furnishing to electrical insulation, conduit, and piping. So, kanina, deadly, possible, ito talaga fatal na. So, magkaiba yung deadly sa fatal. After only a few breaths. Okay? Paghinga mo lang. So, only a few. So, kahit konti lang yung nalanghap mo, it can be fatal. So, maaari ka pong mamatay. So, how are we going to elaborate pag sinabing hydrogen chloride? It is a type of gas. Okay? A type of gas na gagawin niyang turns into acid in our body pag once na nalanghap natin, that anong mangyayari? That cause burning, okay, masusunog, and at the same time, irritation sa katawan. Then, idagdag natin dyan, ano yung mga example ng material? Yes, we have na banggit dito yung mga plastic. Pag sinabing plastic and in line with electrical insulation, we have the PVC pipe, o yung ginagamit natin, yung makikita nyo na orange na pinapadaanan ng mga insulator o yung mga wirings inside sa bahay, yung mga electrical wires, plastic pipes. So, yun po ang magiging example na pag yun ang nasunog, it can provide hydrogen chloride, which is yung gas. Then next, why we are discussing, I'm going to emphasize why we are discussing the type of poisonous gases coming from this hydrogen sulfide. Tandaan nyo lang, yung mga term natin, sulfide, cyanide, and chloride, is that as a criminology student, it is very important in order for us to to know the type of different gases in line pag nasunog na. Bakit man importante yan? Because most of the fires can cause death. Then, ano ba ang dahilan bakit nagkakaroon ng patay pag may nasusunog? Hindi po dahil nasunog ka. Namamatay po yung mga tao possible dahil po sa, ano ba yung nagiging rason? Hindi sa sunog ha. Tatandaan nyo yung smoke, yung mga nalalanghap. Okay? Because most fire that happens from smoke, not in flame. So, understanding this kind of different poisonous gases, kung paano sila, ano ba yung example, as maging firefighters kayo next time, you can able to protect yourselves. Alam nyo na kung ano yung gagawin ninyo, ano yung kakailanganin pag once na ganyan yung nasusunog, that type of gas. Then, meron kayong advanced precaution, at the same time, alam nyo kung ano yung gagawin ninyo in line with the incident happen involving fire. So, yan. Baka tanongin nyo, why is it necessary? So, we have, tandaan nyo lang, pag sinabing sulfide, ito yung organic material, yan. So, papatigilin niya ang flow ng oxygen. Hindi naman papatigilin, slow lang pala. Next, we have, pag sinabing hydrogen cyanide, ito yung papatigilin niya talaga ang katawan mo sa paggamit ng oxygen, and ito cause burning and irritation. So, next, we are going to proceed. Pag sinabi nating flame, It was being described kasi, ma'am, anong pinagkaiba ng flame versus fire? Okay, maraming nagtatanong niya, anong pinagkaiba, ma'am? Focus muna tayo sa flame. Flame is the luminous body of the burning gas which gets hotter and less luminous when mixed with more oxygen. The visible light emitting part of fire. Ito yung magiging keyword nyo. Ano nga ba si flame? Ito yung visible light na nakikita natin sa part ng fire. Considered as the product of incomplete combustion. So, lalabas lang yung flame but once na it is incomplete combustion, it is the manifestation of fire when the fire is in its gas phase of combustion. So, tandaan nyo lang, pag sinabi nating flame, it is the visible part. Okay, makikita nyo naman dito, ito. It is the example. Ito yung example natin ng luminous flame. So, yan ang makikita natin, the visible light being emitted through the process of combustion. So, pag sinabi nating fire, kasi di ba ang fire, based on our discussion, nung una nating discussion, ito yung process of burning. So, commonly, naririnig, there is certain fire, may fire. No, it's not. Pag once nakita tayo ng certain luminous, o kumbaga daw kalayo, it is a flame. Kasi ang fire, it is the burning process that includes, heat. Ano yung tatandaan nyo? Heat that produce light and heat and at the same time, gases. Then, pag sinabi nating fire, it is the complete event. Kasi pag once sinabi nating flame, ano bang sinabi dito? Incomplete combustion. Kasi pag once we justify fire through this, it is a complete event. Ano bang nangyayari na event? Of combustion. What is combustion ba? The chemical reaction between what? The oxygen and the fuel. Okay? Then at the same time, yun lang ang tatandaan natin pag sinabing flame, yung visible effect of burning process. Yun lang. Huwag kayong malito sa flame and fire. Next, we are going to continue. Wag na natin si luminous flame kasi reddish orange deposit soot due to incomplete combustion. Okay, at nasa low temperature lamang yan siya. So, wag natin isa-isahin. Focus tayo kung ano nga ba yung lalabas sa examination ng prelim natin. We are going to continue sa chemical properties na. Chemical properties. We have 4, endothermic, exothermic, oxidation, and combustion. So, pagtuunan natin ang pansin yung tatlo kasi combustion we already discussed and oxidation at the same time na din. Pag sinabi natin endothermic, sabi dyan, changes whereby energy is absorbed. Keyword, ano ang na-absorb is yung energy or being added before the reaction take place. Yan. So, pag sinabi ganing indo, from the word indo, it means nauna dra ang en, enter. So, align siya sa absorb. Papasok yung reaction niya in line with chemical properties. So, ito yung sinasabi na reacting in fire when a material. Ano ba ang nag-absorb? When a material absorbs heat. Okay? Gina-absorb siya ang heat instead of producing it. Yan. Instead na yung material or yung fuel ang mapro-provide ng heat, ito yung type ng chemical properties na nag-absorb siya ng heat. Kasi yung tinutukoy dito na energy refers to what? The heat. Next, pag sinabi nating exothermic, kabaliktaran lang ni Indo, changes that release. Kung kanina absorb, ito naman release. Ano ang gina-release niya? Energy, which is yung heat natin. Another key term from the word ex, pupunta yan sa exit. Kasi pag sinabing exit, release, di ba? Palabas. So, how are we going to justify that? Pag sinabi nating exothermic, it is a reaction when fire release. Yung keyword nyo lang dito, release. Then, at the same time, ano bang gina-release niya? Heat and light energy, making the fire continue burning. Yan, tatandaan ninyo. So, ano ba ang example natin pag sinabi nating endothermic once na absorbs heat. Okay? Balikan mo lang natin. Pag sinabi natin exo and endothermic is yung sinabi natin kanina na absorb and at the same time releases energy. Pag sinabi naman natin oxidation, ito yung chemical process where a substance slowly reacts with oxygen. So, tandaan nyo lang, chemical change where combustible material and oxidizing agent react. So, ano nangyayari dito? Chemical process when a substance, okay, yung substance slowly reacts with oxygen. Okay, kaya si tinawag na oxidation chemical change, nagkakaroon ng certain reaction towards the oxygen but slowly pa yung nangyayari. So yan, combustion, ito na discuss natin, rapid oxidation of substances by generation of producing heat and light, a matter that is produced by a fire. Next we have here, I'm going to emphasize the propagation of fire. Pag sinabi nating propagation gani, it is simply the spread of fire. Yung pagkalat ng apoy. Next, we have, proceed na tayo dito sa intensity of fire. We are going to differentiate. Ano ba pinagkaiba ng intensity of fire sa magnitude of fire? Pag sinabing intensity simply means how. Tatandaan natin si how hot the fire is burning. So, determining the factors, we have the type of fuel, percentage of oxygen present. So, means, pag sinabi natin how hot the fire, it asking how strong. How strong or yung hot the fire is at a specific point area. So, pag sinabi natin at a specific point of area. So, sa isang lugar, gaano ba siya kainit or gaano pa kalakas o gaano ba ka-strong yung napoprovide niya na init. At the same time, the energy itself, the heat or the brightness. We are measuring the hotness, ito yung heat. Then at the same time, pwede din nating i-measure yung brightness. Yan. Then, pag sinabi nating magnitude, we have the definition here, size of fire. Kung kanina, how strong, okay, how hot the fire, ito naman size, governed by the amount of fuel being exposed to the air. So, ano nating tatandaan pag sinabi nating size? It is all about the overall size. Pag sinabi nating overall size, it is all about the spread and total scale. Kumbaga susukatin natin ang kalapadon, ang damage, hasta diin nagkalat ang apoy, spread and total scale of fire incident. Ano ang damage niya? Ano kalaparon? So, how much area, o another word, how much area is or was affected. Yan yung mangyayari natin pag sinabing magnitude. So, balikan natin sa intensity. The example here, halimbawa, pag sinabi natin we are burning a gasoline, for example, paano natin i-ano yung intensity? High intensity because it produces very strong heat. Yung word na very strong heat is the intensity of fire. And large flames, okay, large flame is an example of intensity in that specific area in the kitchen. Okay, it was being point out doon, napakainit daw doon sa part ng kitchen and doon mo daw makikita ang pinakamalaking apoy na nangyayari. So, that is an example of intensity of fire. Next, pag sinabi naman nating magnitude, it is all about the scale, di ba? How far, gaano ba kalapad yung na-damage. So, pag sinabi nating example, yung malala talaga, grass fire. Okay, pag sinabing grass fire, spread. Ano ba? Nagka-grass fire dyan sa Sultan Kudarat. Spread across all lands. Okay, mali na. Across all lands in SK o Sultan Kudarat including building and forest. So yung pag-describe niya na kumalat daw across all the lands sa Sultan Kudarat including buildings, buildings and forest is simply explaining or defining the term magnitude of fire. Next, we are going to discuss the stages of fire. Ito yung talagang pinaka-importante yung maintindihan natin. Yung stages of fire, number 1, we have the incipient. Incipient or itong tinatawag na beginning phase or overheating. Sabi dyan sa definition, normal room temperature. So, dito ma-observe daw na meron lang nagkakaroon ng normal room temperature. So, ano ang temperature nandun? At the base of the fire. Okay, the base. Ano bang meron? Tatandaan nyo po itong 400 to 800 Fahrenheit. Next, we have here, pag sa sinabing sa ceiling, okay, ano ba ang temperature? We have 200. Yan. So, ito lalabas ito sa identification ko sa exam. Ito. Tandaan nyo po. The pyrolysis products are mostly water vapor and carbon dioxide. Small quantities of carbon monoxide and sulfide may be present. So, pag sinabi natin na incipient, it is what? The first stage of fire development. Then, at the same time, how are we going to elaborate? Ano ba ang nandyan sa incipient? Ito yung nagkakaroon na nag-start na ang heat. Heat is starting to build up. Yan, lagay natin. Anong nangyayari dyan sa incipient? Nag-build up na ang init. From, saan ang galing? From a small ignition. Okay, nagkaroon ng small ignition. Then at the same time, tandaan nyo po dito sa incipient, wala pa. No visible. Wala pang visible na flame. But, ano ang ilagay natin na but? But, ano ba? We can consider small flame. Okay? Wala pang visible flame, but meron ng paunti-unti. Yan, tatandaan nyo. Then, smoke are starting to appear. Smoke are starting to appear. So, meron ng usok na lumalabas as the materials start to decompose because doon sa init na naga-build up. So, pag sinabi natin ganito, fire is easy to control. Pag sa incipient, eto pa yung point or yung stage na kaya pa nating i-control yung mga nangyayari. Then, we can able to extinguish if detected early. Pag sinabi natin extinguish, mawala yung sunog talaga ba yung pwedeng simulan ng apoy. So, mapigil agad pag na-detect siya as early or as soon as possible. So, how are we going to give an example? Halimbawa, nag-overheat na kanang mga electrical wire na ginagamit ninyo sa inyong boarding house, nag-init. So, nalimtan. Anong mangyari? Pag nag-spark yan o dumikit doon sa halimbawa sa damit, yung pag-usok pa lang ng damit is the process of incipient kasi it starting to build up heat. Kasi wala ka pang nakikita dyan. So, gadabok ka pa lang basang kalayo kasi kay usok pa lang yung lumalabas. Then, halimbawa, pag yung kandila na iwan, then, natumba, dumikit sa ninyo, sa kurtina, hindi pa naman nag-start na nagkaroon ng flame, pero umuusok din at the same time, unti-unti nang umiinit. So, yan ang part ng incipient natin. Nag-produce ng smoke and at the same time, heat. Before siya mag-develop into totally build up na talaga na flame. Next, we have the second stage. Okay, mali. The second stage, we have here the free burning phase or yung flaming. Okay, nilagay na talaga dito yung flaming kasi bursting into flames. Kasi pag sinabi nating free burning, eto na yung other term na fully developed or ito yun na yung stage na flaming. Okay? Flaming stage. Okay, umaapoy na. So sabi diyan, bursting into flames, ito yung tinutukoy na material catch fire na. The material itself, kanina sa incipient, nagausok pa lang yung mga fuel or yung material. Ito, material catch what na? Fire and burn. So, pag nakakatch siya ng fire and at the same time, meron ng burning, the process of combustion, magkakaroon na ng result na makakita ka na ng flame, which is ito yung flaming. Ito yung stage na yes, visible and rapid na yung burning. Sabi dyan, accelerated pyrolysis process take place. So, accelerated na, pabilis na. Ano yung sinabi ng pyrolysis natin? It is all about decomposition. Then, at the same time, sabi dyan, formation of thermal columns. Ano ng thermal columns, ma'am? Ito yung tinutukoy natin na nagkakaroon na ng hot air or yan nga, heat rises. Burning in the presence of adequate oxygen. So, pag sinabi nating free burning, enough talaga yung oxygen to what? To sustain the combustion. Next, involve more fuel. So, marami nang nakakain na mga fuel or materials na lalong nagpapalaki ng apoy. So, kanina, kung ang temperature natin sa incipient 400 to 800 Fahrenheit, dito naman is nagkakaroon na ng 800 to 1,000. Tandaan niyo yan. At the base, ito yung base. Pag sa sinabi naman nating ceiling, ito. Tandaan niyo po ito. The next, pyrolytic decomposition moves upward on the wall, scrolling of the flame, leaving burnt patterns, fingerprint patterns. So, pag sinabing burnt patterns, ito yung, kumbaga, traces kung saan ba papunta yung apoy based doon sa nagawa niyang pattern sa, possible sa mga walls. The next, occurrence of flash over. Pag sinabi nating flash over, ito yung lahat. Everything. Pag sinabing flash over, everything can ignite. Mali spelling. Pag sinabi natin everything can ignite easily. Due to, bakit mag-ignite naman at tanan easily, ma'am? Due to extreme. Ano nga extreme? Yung init. Ito. Extreme heat or yung smoke and the toxic gases na nandiyan na because it is what the process or the stage of burning we're in, it is totally build up na talaga, fully developed na yung apoy. Then, sabi dyan, the oxygen is very, enough talaga to sustain the burning and at the same time, ito yun na yung part na kung kanina kaya pang i-control, ito harder to control na talaga or i-extinguish. Yan, mahirap na talaga itong pigilan. Next, we have the smoldering phase. Smoldering phase is the third stage of burning process. Ito yung nangyayari pag sinabing smoldering, slow, hidden, burning process. Pag sinabi nating slow, hidden, paunti-unti, meron pang naiiwan ng mga konting apoy. So, material is burning slowly without visible flame after stage 2. So, anong nangyari daw? Sulat natin dito. Material is burning slowly. Baka sabihin nyo kasi na parang incipient, burning slowly without visible flames after, emphasize natin, after stage 2. Ano ba yung stage 2 natin? We have ito, yung free burning. So, ano sinabi dyan? Ito yung stage of fire where there is production of smoke. So, totally, ang lumalabas dito, usok, ma'am, para namang incipient. So, basahin pa natin para paano natin ma-differentiate. Flames ceases. Okay? Nag-cease na, but with dense smoke and heat. So, tumigil na pala. Yung anong tumigil, yung kanina, yung free burning, na nag-end na lang siya, na ang nakita na lang is mga usok. Then, oxygen content drops to 13%. Okay, nag-drop daw sa 13%. Pila gani ang enough na percentage of oxygen na mag-exist dapat sa environment to adequately contribute or help supplement the burning process? We have 16, di ba? 16%. But our environment has 21%. So, pero ang 16% is enough. So, 13, so hindi siya enough. Below siya. Kaya nagkakaroon ng smoke. Walang apoy na nakikita. Next, causing the flame to vanish. Oh, nawawala na yung apoy and heat to develop in layers. Ceiling temperature is what? Tandaan nyo po ito yung 1,000 to 1,300. Yan, Fahrenheit. Heat and pressure in the room builds up. So, nandiyan pa rin yung init tsaka yung pressure. Okay? Based doon sa free burning na nangyari. Then, building or the room contains large quantities of superheated fuel. So, ang nasa loob niyan, after ng stage 2, nandoon pa rin yung existence ng grabe kainit ng mga materials. Ano ba yung mga fuel natin? So, marami. The wood, lahat, clothes, cabinets, ano ba yan, plastics, kung ano ba yung nasunog dyan. Then, under pressure but little oxygen. Ano ba yung factor dito? Bakit hindi siya nagkakaroon ng flame? It is because hindi enough ang oxygen niya kasi nag-drop sa 13%. Next, leave glowing embers. Pag sinabi nating embers, amo na siyang baga. Hindi ko alam sa Tagalog kung ano itong baga. Basta yung ginatawag niyo na para ng uling, nagabaga-baga. The next, when sufficient supply of oxygen is introduced, backdraft occurs. So, pag sinabi nating sufficient, halimbawa na hanginan lang na bigla karon, ti kay gabahambal mo ma'am, gabaga, mayroong ember, perti ka init. So, gamay lang ang adapya, yung 13%. Halimbawa, nadagdagan niya ng 4. So, magiging 16% na yan. So, enough po yan para maibalik yung free burning phase na magkakaroon ulit ng flame. Kasi dito, smoke pa lang yung exist. Kaya papalong na siya eh. Pero, biskan papalong na siya, very init pa ang mga fuel, not enough oxygen, pero pagbabalik si oxygen, halimbawa, naghangin na kusgana na, magkakaroon ulit ng flaming mode. So, next, yan, nabanggit dito ang backdraft. So, we are going to discuss the dangerous behavior of fire, which is number 1 talaga yung backdraft. So, what is backdraft ba? Sabi dyan. Okay, balikan ko muna ito. Why is it necessary for you as my student to understand the stages of fire? Bakit need nyo yan alamin as my student? It is because in order for you, yes, number 1 talaga, to understand the stage of fire, because nakakatulong po yan sa inyo in line with kung paano malaman kung saan nagmumula yung fire, paano siya lumalaki, and kailan ba siya delikado na, so that you can act at the right time. Kasi hindi naman lahat, as always, nandiyan yung mga firefighter natin. Mas better na din na tayo alam din natin how are we going to approach the fire pag may nasusunog na. So that we can act at the right time. So, for in line with the safety and protection, it helps to control and at the same time, alam ninyo ano yung nangyayaring sitwasyon and malilesen yung certain mistake and at the same time, damage and pwede nating pagbiyan na talaga yung may mawala na talagang buhay. Next, balikan natin yung dangerous behavior of fire. We're going to discuss. Number 1, we have the backdraft. It is a sudden, tandaan nyo po, keyword sudden and rapid, violent burning of heated gases in confined area that occurs in a form of explosion. Merong pagsabog. A backdraft is explosive keyword reignition, which is being defined here on the smoldering, the backdraft, reignition, soot and other fuel sources because the introduction of fresh oxygen supplies may occur because of improper ventilation. So, ito na yung i-explain ko kanina. Halimbawa, sa loob ng isang kwarto, matapos itong nasunog, nag-drop yung 13% na oxygen lang, so not enough talaga to create certain flame. Ngayon, nagbulaga bigla na-open ang door, halimbawa, room, eto, nasusunog. Tanan nga bagay diri gabaga. Karon, nagsulod ang firefighter kay wala pa man kaayo na decompose pero meron ng certain ember mga baga dira sa palibot, gibuksan niya ang door kasi akala niya kasi wala nang apoy pagbukas niya sang door wala siya kabalo nga ang sulod sining kwarto perti na nakainit. Eto, superheated fuel na naghihintay lang pala ng chances na makapasok yung oxygen coming from the surrounding itself. Boom, pagpasok, yan, magkakaroon ng explosion. It is because yung na-trigger ang superheated fuel. So, yan. Sabi dyan, fresh oxygen supply may occur because of improper ventilation. So, biglaan na it was being ventilated. That is backdraft. Ano bang makikita natin? Pwede magkaroon ng explosion. Then, pag hindi naman explosion, yung rapid na pag-increase ng apoy. Next, we have the flashover. Pag sinabi nating flashover, it is sudden ignition. Kung kanina, sudden and rapid burning. Okay? Burning burning. Pagkasunog, ito naman, sudden ignition of accumulated radical gases produced when there is incomplete combustion of fuel. So, what is flashover? Ito yung all materials catches fire. Na-discuss ko na ito kanina, yung flashover doon kanina. Ito yung all materials are easily to ignite. Okay? The time because of the heat which is extremely high. So again, ulitin ko, all materials. Okay? All materials are easily to ignite. Bakit, ma'am, easily to ignite na siya, ma'am? It is because the presence of heat. Ano bang nandyan sa heat? Extremely high. Yun lang. Next, we are going to continue dito sa rollover. Rollover, also known as flame over, an eruption of flames following the ignition of gas that has collected at the top of an enclosed space or structure. Gases produced by pyrolysis ignites involves gases and okay, wag na nating basahin. Ano ga ba? Keyword niya dito, ito yung eruption of flames. Ano bang nangyayari dito? Flames move. Okay? Pag sinabi nating rollover, ang flames, it moves. Or, pwede nating itawag na nagkaroon ng roll across the ceiling. Tandaan nyo, the ceiling. Okay? The ceiling of the room happens when hot fire gases rise. Kumbaga, tumaas yung evaporation, oxidation of gases. So, nagkaroon ng rollover. Di ba nakikita niyo yan? Yung halimbawa, ito yung room. Ito yung ceiling. Then, dito may apoy. Yan, dito nasusunog. Makikita ninyo yung pag-akyat. Dito, aabot yan. Yung pag-roll over ng apoy na para, halimbawa, pag dito nabutas na, dyan, lalabas yan, lalabas, hasta nga makahungaw. Yung pag-roll over dito, roll over, is an example of what? Yung moving of flames. Kasi sabi dyan, roll over is the flame moves. Eruption of flames following the ignition. Kasi sabi dyan, sinusunod niya ang gas that exists on that certain room. Saan ba pupunta? We have the upward motion, di ba? Next, we have the bite back. A fatal condition. So, it was being defined na very fatal daw ni siya. That takes place when the fire resists. Okay? Ano ba ang nag-resist yung fire? Extinguishment operation and become stronger and bigger instead. So, ano bang mangyayari dito? Pag sinabi nating bite back, ito yung parang I shall return. Okay? Nag-return. Bakit? Fire comes back after being controlled. Bite back nga Fire behavior when fire seems under control. Yung akala nyo, kontrolado nyo na. Pero, flames up again after being suppressed due to hidden gases, heat fuel, or nandoon pa yung mga fuel nga gabaga-baga or still present. Pwede natin ma-example yung nangyari kanina dito. Yung sa smoldering phase. Yung akala mo, natigil na yung apoy. Then the backdraft is we are going to consider the backdraft as what also a bite back. Kasi bite back is just being defined, okay? Nag-resist into the extinguishment, yung akala mo wala na pero bumalik yung apoy. Yung pagbalik ng apoy is considered as the bite back, yung pag-return. Kasi pag sinabi nating backdraft, it explains the process, yung sudden and rapid burning. Yun. Next, we have the flash fire, better known as dust explosion. Keyword, ano ang nangyayari dyan? Ito yung nagkakaroon ng short or sudden fire. Okay? This may happen when the metal post that is completely covered with dust is going to be hit by lightning. So, nakidlatan. Okay? Nagkakaroon ng short or sudden fire. Pero ang ano ni dito, hindi po yan continuous. Then at the same time, hindi po ito makakalat. Kasi nga, short lang, flash fire. Kumbaga, we have, sinabi si the flash. Ano nangyayari sa kanya? Para lang siyang isang flash. Okay, nakikita natin through a certain period of time lang. So, sabi dito, the dust particle covered in metal, okay, through creating violent chemical reaction that produce a very bright flash followed by an explosion. So, fire that exists in a short period of time but spread quickly. It spread but hindi longer ang existing niya as a fire. So, we cannot able to identify the magnitude. Okay, pwede, we can able small amount of material has being burned. Yun lang. Kasi madalian lang is short or sudden fire. So, we are going to classification of fires. We have natural causes. Yan, mga natural, galing sa sunlight, spontaneous heating. Pag sinabi natin spontaneous heating, yung number one talaga natin na example dito is yung grass fire. Kasi yung grass fire, nangyayari po yan pag sa sobrang init, then na-accumulate yung heat, then at the same time, grabe naka-crispy kayo ang mga sagbot, then at the same time, contributor pa yung hangin, the existing of oxygen, so nagkakaroon talaga ng apoy. Pero hindi na talaga pwede, hindi na siya natural cause. Halimbawa, yung grass, dali na lang siya masunog, tinapunan ng sigarilyo. So it can be accidental cause, so mapupunta na siya doon. Pag sinabi naman nating accidental, we have yung mga electrical issues, short circuit, sparking. We have also intentional. Pag sinabing intentional, ito yung there are preparations. Meron ng planning. Okay, tandaan yung planning. Traces of accelerants, plant and trailers, then the cause of fire is intentional. Intentional planning. Meron talagang certain actions before niya ginawa. Hindi lang talaga negligence or pwede ma-false prudence or accidental na mangyayari. Next, accidental causes. So, na-discuss na natin itong short circuit. Yan. Sparking, overheating, and purely accidental cause. Yan. So, skip na natin yan. Proceed tayo dun sa pinaka-important part, which we are going to identify the classes of fire. Eto, classes of fire, no, parang naano natin to sa first, natin. Class A, ito yung mga ordinary fires. Class B, liquid. Okay, yung naging root cause, electrical. Ito, metallic. Okay, kitchen. Yan, tandaan nyo lang. Dito tayo mag-focus sa, wait lang. Explain muna natin ano yung pinagkaiba ng fire suppression, fire control, and fire extinguishment. Yan. Pag sinabi nating fire suppression means slowing down rate of burning. So, suppression means putting out. Putting out. Ano ba i-putting out natin? The fire. Completely. So, tatanggalin natin literally yung nasusunog. Or we are going to reduce it until fully out. Amat-amato, nasta sa maubos. So, yung main point ng suppress, you are going to suppress. Your goal is to what? Remove talaga the fire. Tanggalin talaga yung nandoon na fire. Kasi pag sinabi nating control, keeping the fire from spreading. or holding the fire or pipigilan mo yung apoy na mapunta sa isang area to keep the fire at minimum level. Pag sinabi nating minimum level, halimbawa yung nasusunog na room 1, dapat hindi na siya makaabot doon sa room 2. That is example of fire control. So it means control, ibig sabihin po niyan limiting. Ginalimit nimo ang spread, limiting the spread of fire. Kanina, ito putting out, ito limiting the spread. So, how are we going to limit the spread of fire? Pwede, mag-example natin, mag-create tayo ng barriers. Okay, mag-spray tayo ng water at the same time as a firefighter. Pwede, fire control, halimbawa, yung room 1 ang nasusunog, dili na ang room 1 atong sprayhan og tubig, ang nasunod na lang nga room 2, room 3, room 4. Amo na lang to siya ang bason sang tubig para hindi na siya madamay. That is an example of control, limiting the spread of fire. Then at the same time, yung mga grass fire natin, pwede, certain barrier na nakita o lang din sa YouTube, yung halimbawa dito, halimbawa, ito nasusunog na. So, dito, merong mga puno pa dyan. Yan, example. Para hindi yan makaabot dito sa kabilang part ng kabundukan, ang ginagawa nila, kaluto na nila diri ang lupa kag iharang. Okay? Itambak nila ang lupa, kaluto nila mismo. This will serve as a barrier. So, this kind of action is an example of fire control. They are not putting out the fire, but what? They are limiting the spread. That is control. Then next, pag sinabi nating fire extinguishment, ito na talagang putting the fire completely out. Kung baga si extinguishment is the result or the achievement of these two actions being made of a certain person. The suppression and the control. Kasi pag nagawa mo ito and ito, pwedeng tawagin na the fire has been extinguished already, which is the result. Completely wala nang nangyayaring sunog. Next, the fire extinguishment theory. We're going to discuss the four. We have the fire extinguishment, temperature reduction, fuel removal, oxygen dilution, chemical inhibition. First, we are going to number 1, ito, extinguishment by temperature reduction or cooling or quenching. Cooling temperature of the fire environment usually done by water. So, tandaan nilang pa, pag sinabi nating, halimbawa, pag sinabing temperature, ang tinutukoy nito, heat. So, usually, di ba, pag makikita ta, halimbawa nasunog, ang aton nga libro, basyahan dahil naton ka tubig. Yung pagsaboy mo ng tubig is an example of cooling the temperature para mawala yung fire talaga. Extinguishment of fire. Or, hindi man ma-extinguish, lowering down the temperature to cool the fuel to a point where it does not produce sufficient vapors that burn. Yung example natin, room 1 nasusunog, basyahan mo na lang ang room 2 para i-cool down ang room 2 para hindi mag-init tong fuel nga ara sa room 2, which is example pag made sa kahoy, yung wood itself, yung mga kagamitan doon. Next, we have extinguishment by fuel removal. Kanina, cooling, papalamigin mo yung temperature, ngayon tatanggalan mo ng fuel or yung i-separate mo yung fuel. Ano ba yung fuel? Ito yung mga materials na pwedeng maaring masunog. Elimination of fuel supply source, which may be done by A. Stopping the flow of liquid, preventing the production of flammable gas. So, in line with that, how are we going to take away? We are going to take away the material that is burning so that the fire has nothing to left to consume. Tatanggalin natin ang fuel. It is because what? Kumbaga sa tao papagutumon para maging hungry ang kalayo kasi wala na siyang ma-consume na mga fuel. So halimbawa pag nasusunog o nasunog ang aton nga LPG, ang burner, number 1 nga pag sa pag-remove or separate is pag-turn off. And pag sinabi nating forest fire, commonly nangyayari, i-clear na lang natin ang mga trees, putlon. Okay, tanggalon. And at the same time, yung example ko kanina, pag-dig ng soil, pag nagkaroon ng grass fire, is an example of elimination of fuel. Okay, yung pag-kalot para hindi siya mag-abot dito sa mga further fuel pa is an example of fuel removal or separation. Kasi yung pagkakaroon kanina, yung example natin ito, dito meron ng sunog. Yan, sunog. Possible itong kalupaan ng isang tao, pwede masunog. So, kaluta na siya diri. It is an example of separation. Next, we have extinguishment by oxygen dilution or blanketing smothering. It is a reduction of oxygen concentration at the burning area. So, ano ba yung napapansin dito sa extinguishment process? Tinatanggal yung triangle. Ano ba yung triangle natin? We have the heat, the fuel, and the oxygen itself. So, meron palang way on how we are going to prevent fire is yung triangle method natin. Tatanggalin natin sila mismo para hindi maging successful. So, pag sinabi natin reduction of oxygen, we are going to remove the oxygen itself. So, how are we going? So, to remove, we have, sabi dito yung blanketing. So, gina-apply ni siya sa Bureau of Fire Protection, yung BFP natin, yung mga firefighters, yung they are going to cover the fire of a certain blanket they're being used. Okay, pag pag konti lang yung nasusunog, a specific area pa lang, hindi na totally house, kabiran lang sa blanket. No, it's not. Then, at the same time, example nito is yung pag-release ng gases that displace oxygens. Example nito, yung paglagay natin ng sun sa nasusunog. Nare-reduce yan ang oxygen kasi hindi makakapasok doon. Then, at the same time, yung fire blanket, ito yung blanketing natin na ginagamit. Then, at the same time, yung paggamit natin ng fire extinguisher na merong carbon dioxide na chemical content. Yan, carbon dioxide chemical content. So, next we have the extinguishment by chemical inhibition. Yan, chemical inhibition, anong nangyayari dyan? Some extinguishment agents like dry, chemical, and halon interrupt the production of flame resulting to rapid extinguishment of fire. So, it means you are going to what? Anong nangyayari dito? Interrupting. You are going to interrupt the chemical chain reaction. So, how are we going that? It was done by using dry chemical powders. Okay? Dry chemical powders. Paano nangyayari yan, ma'am? Anong gagawin? Gamit tayo ng fire extinguisher na merong content ng dry chemical. Malbaliktad pala. Dry chemical powder. Yan ang gagamitin natin na content ng isang fire extinguisher. So yan, contained by a fire extinguisher like, okay, we have the monoammonium phosphate is an example of dry chemical powder. So, gagamit na tayo ngayon ng fire extinguisher. Next, what are the methods of extinguishing the 4 classes of fire? Pag sinabi natin class A, gani class, ito yung we are cooling. Okay, gagamitan natin ng water. An example, ano bang nasusunog dito? It can be yung mga paper, wood. The next, method ito ha. What are the methods of extinguishing the 4 classes of fire? Pag class B gani, ano gani example natin sa class B? Okay, tatanggalan natin siya ng oxygen. Okay? Pag sinabi naman natin class C, ito yung mga electrical. Diba? Electrical. Diba class B is yung liquid. Ito naman class A, ito is yung mga example natin, mga wood or yung mga common combustible materials. Then, pag sinabi natin class D, ito yung metals, mga aluminum. So, how are we going to, using the dry sand and class D fires. So, sinabi dyan, it was being explained here na pag halimbawa, ito yung class ng fire, ano bang gagawin mo in line with the method to extinguish the fire? Next, ano ba ibig sabihin ng fire extinguisher? Kanina pa yan nababanggit. Is a mechanical device usually made of metal containing chemical fluids or gases for stopping fires that the means for application of its contents for the purpose of putting out the fire. So, what is the meaning of mechanical device? Pag sinabi natin mechanical, pwede nating ipasok yan yung pagiging portable device. Bakit? Ano bang nakikita niyo sa fire extinguisher? Diba? Maari siyang bitbitin kahit nga 10 years old na bata. Kaya siyang kargahin. So, pwede siyang malipat kahit na saang lugar, bawal lang siya i-expose din sa init. Next, pag sinabi pa nating fire extinguisher, it is a type of fire extinguishment or agent that designed for a specific situation. So, dapat, tandaan nyo po, hindi lahat ng fire extinguisher is applicable to all types of fire. Meron yan specifically. Then, meron din tayong nag-iisang type of fire extinguisher na pwedeng gamitin sa lahat ng classes of fire. So, ito, pasukin natin ang classification of fire extinguisher. We have Class A. Pag sinabi natin Class A na fire, Class A po na extinguisher, ibig sabihin, ano ang i-put out niya nga fire? Ito yung mga combustible, which is wood, paper, we have the grass, yung mga commonly natin na mga dry leaves, yan. Water is the primary. Kung ano dang unod dere, eto, water. Commonly, unod niya is the primary liquid used in this extinguisher. Tandaan niyo lang yan. Class B extinguisher, ano bang nasa loob niyan? Foam. Should be used fires involving flammable liquids. Ito yung mga grease, mga oil natin, kerosene, gasoline, diesel. So, Class B na fire extinguisher. Pag sinabing Class B gani, amo ni siya flammable liquids. Class C extinguisher, ito yung involved in mga electrical short circuit, gagamitan mo yan. Meron siyang contained na carbon dioxide. Ito, carbon dioxide na ito yung pwedeng gamitin para ma-eliminate in line with halimbawa nasusunog yung isang PC, nasusunog yung cellphone, naglupok. Okay? So, gagamitan mo ng Class C na extinguisher. Class D extinguisher, powder, ano na ito? Ito na yung dry chemical powder. Ito, dry chemical powder are designed for use in flammable metals. Are often specific for type and metal in question. Mga metal natin, mga aluminum. Okay? Next, we have, pag sinabi natin sa metal nga, I'm going to, yes nga, yun na nga ang example, Class D. Then, the last one, the Class K. Ito yung last natin. Class K, from the word na kitchen. Ito yung mga cooking oils, yung involvement. Okay, di ba? Pag nasusunog din yung kitchen, lalo na yung mga fats, okay, nagatumpok, yung mga mantika natin, usually seen in commercial restaurant and cafeteria. So, ito yung ginagamit nila na fire extinguisher. Are designed to extinguish fire involving, okay, yung mga animal fats and at the same time, yung mga cooking elements na sa kitchen natin. So, yun lamang, dyan mag-end ang ating prelim discussion. Ito din yung magiging coverage. Ito yung part 2. Okay, part 2 ng aking prelim discussion. Yung part 1, dapat mapanood po yun ninyo para totally the coverage of the prelim examination is, talaga, maintindihan. So, that's all for today. Thank you for giving time to listen the video discussion. I hope you understand. And at the same time, possible class, we are going to prepare for a long quiz once na mag-meet up tayo. That's all for today. Thank you. God bless. Ingat kayo always.